guys, welcome back to Book Talk with Meg. My name is Megan for those of you who don't know. Hi, welcome, hope you stick around. If you decide to click the subscribe button down below, stick around, we'll have fun. Haven't talked to you guys in quite a little bit. No excuses really, I think I just needed a break to adjust to school and just adapt to my internship and that kind of stuff, but I am back. I'm just letting you guys know right now I will be uploading every Friday. That's going to be my new schedule, and I might pop up a few videos here and there that are extra, but I'm aiming to upload every Friday. Today I'm here with my October TBR. I have been lacking when it comes to reading, and so October, November, and December, I will be trying to read really big amounts of books to make up for my Goodreads goal, and as well as just to get back in the kick of things. I feel like it's the best weather to read. So without further ado, I'll share the 15-ish books I'm trying to read this month. I will start by addressing the books that are obviously not out yet that I am waiting for during the month of October. The first one being What If It's Us by Adam Silvera and Becky Albertalli. I don't think I need to go in much great detail about this book, but basically it's kind of like a meet cute in a way, and both Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera have each written a book, and it's about two boys who meet, I believe, at the post office when one of them is shipping out his ex-boyfriend stuff or something of the sorts, and their relationship goes on from there. I'm very excited about this book. It's been one of my most anticipated reads of the year because I love contemporary, so hopefully it doesn't let down. The second book that also comes out in October is The Geography of Lost Things. This book is really something that's up my alley because, one, it has to do with road trips, and it also has to do with a coming of age story and kind of dealing with grief and that kind of stuff, which I'm really a sucker for. Basically what this book is about is our main character, I believe, has lost contact with her father, or something happened and they don't really talk anymore, and her father passes away, and she is given his old car, and she doesn't want his car, she just wants to get this over with, and she finds someone who wants to buy this car but lives in the Pacific, so basically she has to go on a road trip to sell this car, and with that money she will basically pay off the foreclosure of her childhood home. The only thing is that car is a stick shift, so a manual car. Our main character cannot drive a manual car, but her ex-boyfriend can, and so they embark on this journey together, and things happen along the way, which sounds very intriguing. And the other book that isn't out yet, which comes out on October 2nd, as well as The Geography of Lost Things, and I think I forgot to mention, but What If It's Us, I believe, comes out on October 9th. I will put it on the screen if ever I am mistaken, but the other book I want to read is the sequel to The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee, which is a lady's guide to petticoats and piracy, and I want to read The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue and then read that book, so obviously both of them are on my TBR. The next book I want to read, I am currently reading, and it is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, and I am already almost halfway through this book, and I've read it for 2 hours. I am flying by this book. This book follows our main character, Cass. Cass is kind of a awkward / different teen. She's not very popular, and she also has this thing where she can see ghosts, and her best friend Jacob is a ghost, and both her parents kind of have jobs that deal with ghosts. Her mother and father write books together. Her father is basically interested in the history side of life, and her mother kind of weaves in mythical tales about ghosts, but her parents do not see ghosts and are not aware that our main character does. At one point, this main character's parents are offered to do this kind of documentary video, and so they go to Scotland and everything takes off from there. It is a YA novel by Victoria Schwab. I definitely recommend this for someone who doesn't want really spooky things but wants to be in a Halloween fall mood. I am really loving this book so far. The next book I want to read is a must-have for fall, and that is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Obviously, I don't think I need to explain this book, but I'm basically going to marathon all of them during the fall, starting with Philosopher's Stone. Hopefully I can get to more than one this month, but I'm aiming for the first one, and I also want to watch the movie once I'm done. Even though I've watched the movie like 3 times in the past 2 weeks, I'm going to watch it again and kind of like see the differences between the book and the movie, which I both love very much. The next book I want to read in the month of October is Jacobite by William Rithard, I believe. I do have the 2 other books in the series. There is a 4th one as well, but I own the first 3, so if ever I can adjust my TBR if I like madly fall in love with this, but I'm aiming again to read the first one. This book follows our main character Abigail, who arrives in New England, and it is set in the 1890s, and basically she is looking for a job, and she meets this man called Jacobite, who is like an investigator for supernatural things, and she is very like good at observing natural, like regular things, and so they pair up, and this is like kind of like a mystery book. It kind of makes me think of like Mary Higgins Clark kind of style book, but more for like a middle grade / young adult style. I've heard a lot of good things about this book, and so I decided, like, it is a fall-ish book, so I decided to pick it up in the month of October. Again, this is a short read, so I should probably fly through. The last middle grade book I want to read this month is The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, the first book in the Magisterium series. I believe like the 5th and final book just came out, which kind of like piqued my interest for the series again. And it kind of feels like Harry Potter, which is always great. This book follows a main character whose name is Callum, and basically Callum has to pass this thing that is called the Iron Trial, and this is a test to be able to be sent in the Magisterium school, which involves magic, and he basically wants to fail this exam because his father has always told him to stay away from magic. But obviously, as there wouldn't be 5 books, I believe Callum passes the exam and is sent to this school, and it sounds like Harry Potter, but like a story of its own, obviously. But I love the magic element, I love like the school element, and I feel like it's going to be a great and again very short read. The next book I want to read I am very excited about, and that is Paper Princess. This is part of a series called The Royals, and it is book 1 by Aaron Watt. And I believe Aaron Watt is a combination of 2 authors, but I don't remember which ones. But basically, this follows our main character, who is named Ella Harper. And Ella Harper basically spent her childhood moving around with her mother and kind of like not living a stable life, and they were not very fortunate, and I believe she has never met her father. And at one point, Ella's mother passes away, and so Ella has to like learn to be on her own until this man, again called Callum, which is ironic because the other main character was called Callum in the book just before that. Callum Royal comes in and takes Ella, who I believe like is a prostitute or does like pole dancing or whatever, to earn money just like her mother did, and he basically finds her and takes her out of there and says, "I was a friend of your dad's, I'm going to take care of you," and basically brings Ella home with him and his 5 sons, and it is Ella dealing with these boys that don't want her there, and I think like romance blooms with one of the boys, and like people keep raving about this book, and even like just the paperback was so expensive, and usually it's a good, not always, but I feel like if it never goes down and there's always so much hype, like it's a good indicator that this book is going to be good, and again it is part of a series. The next book I want to read is The Dark Between the Stars by Atticus. This is a kind of like sequel to his book A Love for a While. This is a poetry collection, and if you guys don't know, I am a huge Atticus fan. Favorite poet of all time. He's the one who got me into reading modern poetry. I constantly go back to his other book, and I am really hoping this has the same effect of on me. And basically this is a like multimedia format because it includes pictures as well as the poetry, and it is such a soothing experience, and I really want to take the time to digest this one, which is why I haven't picked it up yet, which is very surprising. The next book on my TBR is Meet the Sky by Michael Hoyle. This is the author of a book I always pray. I believe I have a full review on, which is called The Thing with Feathers. This book I was anticipating very much. This book follows our main character Sophie, and Sophie has had a lot of hardships in the past, and now she just wants to focus on entering her school for veterinary. She wants to focus on her mom and her sister's well-being and just kind of like control everything she can in her life until a hurricane comes, and she realizes that one thing she can't control obviously is nature, and so I believe like they are evacuating, and she gets stuck on this island with a boy who broke her heart, and I think that this is going to have to deal with grief of the past and hardships and not being so hard on yourself and forgiving and forgetting people, and obviously the hurricane adds another element, and all of what I've read by Meaghan was very deep, so I think that this is going to touch on a lot of serious topics, and I'm very interested to see how it's going to go. Plus the cover is absolutely gorgeous, so I am a happy camper. The next book, which I have not read, and I am like in utter shock that I didn't spend the entire night reading it once it came out, is Escaping from Houdini by Carrie Maniscalco. This is the third book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series, and if you guys were not aware or have never seen my little profile picture, I guess, for this account, you would know that Stalking Jack the Ripper is my all-time favorite series, aside from Harry Potter, obviously. But basically, this third book follows Audrey, Rose, and Thomas on a ship, as you can see, and I think it has like a circus theme for the week, and obviously they have to deal with Houdini. I don't want to talk more about it, but all I can say is that you guys should really give Stalking Jack the Ripper a chance. The main character, Audrey Rose, is really intelligent, kick-ass, and brings a really nice feminine touch to the story. Thomas is an amazing side character to Audrey Rose. He respects her very much. It's a very healthy relationship. I love the forensic elements in this book as well as the mystery. I think that overall these books are extremely well done, and I will be filming a video very soon explaining why I feel like this series is very important and why I feel more people should read it and how I love it so much and why I love it. The next book I want to read is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novak. Basically, all I know about this book is that it has Rupert Stiltskin kind of retelling elements in it, and it has to do with like obviously kind of like magic. It is a fantasy book. I don't want to know more. This is the kind of book I want to go into blind, and again, stunning cover, and I just want to experience it as a whole and not spoil myself too much on the premise. Lastly, the book I want to read is A Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This book I was talked and told the premise about so many times, and I've watched so many videos on YouTube concerning this book, and I still don't really know 100% what is happening. I just know that this is like the book that changes everyone and everybody loves it and people are crying over. So I'm very intrigued to see what is happening. Again, I think this has like a magic element to it, and I also did order Muse of Nightmares, the UK edition in hardcover that should be coming on October 2nd. So once I complete this, I will be going on to Muse of Nightmares. So that's it for my extremely ambitious TBR. You guys let me know below what you guys are reading this month. I'd love to chat with you guys. Also, feel free to go look at my Instagram. I will be posting more fall photos and mini reviews of these books once I am done. So if you guys want to know more thoughts about this, and I will also be linking my blog. Happy reading, guys!